Good morning, everyone. My name is Luisa María Lozano, Director of the Political Sciences Program at Universidad de La Sabana, and it is both an honor and a privilege to welcome you all to this very special event at Universidad de La Sabana. Today, we are not just part of a university, but a global community that connects the heart of education with the world's most pressing issues. We would like to extend a heartfelt greeting to the team and the mission of diplomats that made this possible. His Excellency Yuri Polyukovich, Ambassador of Ukraine to Peru. Luis Bernardo Ramirez, Honorary Consul of Ukraine in Colombia. And Oleksiy Otkidach, Consul of Ukraine in Peru, whose support and collaboration has been crucial for this event. And a special welcome to Mr. Alexander Merenshko, Professor and Chair of Foreign Affairs Committee in the Ukrainian Parliament. A special thanks also goes to our University Rector, Rolando Roncancio, and other authorities at La Sabana for their leadership and support in promoting this high-level dialogue. We also welcome the representatives from other universities that are joining us today in this streaming. And of course, a warm welcome to our academic community and the students that also join us from different parts of Colombia. Your presence here today speaks to your interest in the vital issues of our time. We are excited to have you in this conversation. This event is the realization of an idea that began a few months ago in a visit for the ambassador in our campus. From that conversation to today, we have seen the power of collaboration and how a shared vision can turn into an opportunity for dialogue and understanding. We are now pleased to welcome to the stage Universidad de La Sabana's Rector, Mr. Rolando Roncancio Rachid.
Your Excellency, President Zelenskyy, it is an honor having you here with us today. Thank you. Ambassador Yuri Polyukovich, Professor Alexander Mereshko, Alejandro, as we call him, other members of the Ukrainian delegation present at the Universidad de La Sabana today, representatives from other universities joining us in this magnificent effort to have this dialogue with His Excellency, President Zelenskyy, students, professors, journalists, and friends from Colombia and abroad. Today, we have the immense privilege of hearing from President Zelenskyy, a leader whose commitment to his people has resonated across the globe. His presence here is a powerful reminder that no matter the distance between us, the struggles and aspirations of people can inspire, uplift, and connect us all. Today, the academic community of Colombia, which embodies a culture of learning, exchange, and boundless curiosity, builds upon a powerful relationship that has, since the birth of our nation, shaped Colombia, as the ambassador well knows, due to his historic studies. Here, today, we endeavor to continue building the bridge between Colombia and Ukraine that will guarantee the strength of this relationship for many years to come. Colombia and Ukraine may be continents apart, but our histories are marked by common threads: resilience, hope, and an underlying belief in the transformative power of words and ideas. Universities are certainly the seeds beds of such ideas, where students, scholars, future leaders, and thinkers gather to envision new futures and craft solutions for the challenges we face. These classrooms and libraries are places where knowledge is shaped, not just for academic interest, but for tangible impact, as we used to say here at the Universidad de La Sabana, fueling ambitions that will shape the world. In Lviv, a city now located in western Ukraine, two young law scholars, Herj Lanterpach and Raphael Lemkin, found themselves immersed in the humble world of academia. Within their Ukrainian classrooms, they faced questions far beyond textbooks, questions about humanity, justice, and the very fabric of law. At that time, they could not have known that their work would reshape the moral and legal framework of our world. As was eloquently recalled by Professor Philippe Sanz, there in the city of Lviv, they pioneered concepts that would become foundational to international law: crimes against humanity and genocide. These concepts, born out of personal convictions and academic pursuit, encapsulate the foundations of human dignity and justice. Lanterpach and Lemkin's work serves as a powerful testament to the idea that universities, and in their case, Ukrainian universities, are not merely places to study history, they are places to write it. This commitment to ideas and to transforming those ideas into action finds a powerful parallel in the interactions that have taken place between Colombia and Ukraine. Just last year, Colombian Sergio Jaramillo, Héctor Abad Faciolince, and Catalina Gomez Angel traveled to Ukraine as part of the Hold On Ukraine campaign, Aguanta Ucrania. They went to bear witness to the conflict in Ukraine, to stand in solidarity, and to carry with them the empathy of Latin America. In Ukraine, they met a remarkable voice of resilience, Victoria Amelina, a Ukrainian novelist, poet, and war documenter, also from Lviv, the city I just mentioned. Victoria was much more than an author. She was an historian of her people's spirit, and she understood, as Lanterpach and Lemkin had, the power of writing words on a page. Victoria's life was tragically cut short in a missile attack in Kramatorsk, but her legacy lives on. Her words endure, transcending warfare, conveying a spirit of courage, and unites those who read her work. For those who have read her words, she has created a bridge, a reminder of our shared humanity, and a call to never remain indifferent in the face of injustice. And here at Universidad de La Sabana, we too are building these bridges. Recently, we were deeply honored to receive a gift of Ukrainian books from the First Lady of Ukraine, Olena Zelenska, under the program Estantería Ucraniana, books that capture the essence of Ukrainian culture, stories, poetry, and history. For our students, these pages open a window into the lives of people who, like themselves, seek a world where understanding and mutual respect are paramount. This cultural exchange is more than an act of generosity. It is an invitation to a deeper connection and shared knowledge, a gift that transcends distance and forges a relationship grounded in understanding, empathy, and respect. We thank to the First Lady of Ukraine for this marvelous gift. As we welcome President Zelenskyy to Universidad de La Sabana, we celebrate this opportunity for friendship rooted not only in respect, but in the courage, creativity, and humanity that our two nations embody. The true strength of a nation lies not merely in its borders, but in its capacity to connect with others, to inspire and be inspired, to learn and to grow together. President Zelenskyy, we thank you for the generosity of your presence today and for the insights you will share with us and with our students. It is a privilege to listen and to learn from you, to stand in solidarity, and to look toward a future shaped by a shared commitment to peace, dignity, and the profound power of ideas. It would be our deepest honor, President, to one day welcome you here in person in our campus at Universidad de La Sabana, and welcome everybody. Thank you very much.
President Zelenskyy, thank you so much for being here. The floor is yours.
Thank you so much. Thank you. Thank you very much. Thank you, Mr. Rector. Thank you, dear students of Colombia, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you. I'm pleased to have the opportunity to speak to you on the eve of International Students' Day, a celebration of those who are learning today and will create the future tomorrow. It's young people who have always been the driving force of change. It is you who have always given the world new views, ideas, and solutions. Those things that should make the world a better place. And our world needs this today more than ever. And I say this both as president and as a citizen of the country against which Russia has been waging a full-scale war for almost 1,000 days. For 1,000 days, Russia has been trying to destroy us, to take away our lives and our freedom. And I could give you many examples that would help you better understand what Russian aggression is and what modern Russia is. What it's like when Russia comes to your home, to your land. I'll give you an example. The way your peers, Ukrainian students, and young people live today. Tens of thousands of boys and girls have been forced to leave their hometowns and alma maters. Dozens of our universities have been relocated from Donetsk, Luhansk, Simferopol, Mariupol, and many, many other cities where Russia, its missiles and its bombs have come. Every seventh educational institution in Ukraine has been either destroyed or damaged. And it's not just about buildings, it's about youth, it's about dreams, hopes, it's about the future of our children, our young people. And with every destroyed school or university, opportunities for development are destroyed. This is the reality that young Ukrainians face every day. But despite everything, this destruction did not break us. It strengthened our determination and our will. So today, Ukrainian youth is a symbol of resilience, of endless courage. Our students are not only mastering their future professions despite their war, shelling, and anxiety. They are actively volunteering, supporting the army, our soldiers. Many of them have left their classroom to go to the front line to defend what is theirs, their family, their land, their country, their rights. All that is dear to us. all that Russia is trying to destroy for almost 1,000 days in a row. Our country's struggle for life has been going on for almost 1,000 days. And this struggle is not just about Ukraine. It's also about you, about everyone who values freedom, the right to choose your own path, and a future without war. Of course, without war. What this future will look like depends on each of us today. People who live in different parts of the world and yet share the same understanding of such concepts as freedom and justice. Colombia and Ukraine are examples of this. And we live on different continents, in different time zones, but we have a lot in common. And this is more than the yellow and blue colors on our flags. It's also similar historical challenges, and I'm sure a common vision of the values that need to be protected. Russia's war against us, against Ukraine, is more than a war. It's an attempt to restore a colonial empire, to enslave our people, to take away our freedom and the right to choose. Colombians who have lived through the struggle against colonialism know what it is. They know how cruel the invaders can be, how they try to break your resistance, and how important it is to fight to defend your freedom and the right of every nation to live independently, to preserve its identity. As one of the most multinational countries in Latin America, Colombia is also an example of the ability to protect its culture and diversity. Dozens of cultures and ethnic groups are intertwined in your country, each of which preserves its traditions, its language, art, and identity. Ukraine also has a rich cultural heritage with about 100 different nationalities and indigenous peoples, including Crimean Tatars. Now, in the occupied territory, they face numerous persecutions by Russia, arrests, imprisonment, captivity, regular restrictions of rights. In Crimea in particular, and in Ukraine in general, Russia is destroying not only physical objects, but also the foundations of culture and identity, the right to be who we are. And I'm sure our nations know how important this is. They know that it's worth fighting for. Ukraine and Colombia have a good space for cooperation and cultural exchange. And these are projects to preserve cultural heritage, protect the rights of indigenous peoples, develop educational programs and ideas of cultural tolerance. Together with Colombia, we want to show that diversity makes us stronger, that the uniqueness of each nation is our common treasure, which is worth preserving and protecting. To restore justice and lasting peace, Ukraine has presented the international community with a peace formula, a plan of concrete steps, 10 points for the end of war and a safe world. This is not only our plan, it's our call to every country, to everybody, to join the defense of global security. And every voice counts. The voice of Colombia and all democratic nations can bring us closer to a new system where no country can commit aggression with impunity. You know, in June this year, we held the inaugural Peace Summit in Switzerland, bringing together more than 100 states and international organizations from all regions of the world. Most of them were at the level of leaders. It's a great regret that the president of Colombia or any other representative of your country did not attend. It's a pity. Nevertheless, I believe that Colombia will find a way to join the process of restoring justice. And this is where your role as young people who will shape Colombia's future is crucial. Preparations for the second summit, for the second peace summit, are underway. Each state can take the initiative to implement any of these points. Each will find an area that will be a priority for it. And I believe that Colombia could make a significant contribution, for example, in ensuring environmental safety in the world. True victory is only possible if we stand together. When all democratic nations unite to defend justice, we can change the world for the better. We thank you for the support of the Colombian academic community, for your solidarity, for your commitment to justice. Together we can build a world where colonialism and aggression will never, never, never again be acceptable. Thank you. Thank you so much. Thank you for invitation. Thanks, Colombia. Thanks, friends, for your attention. And I'm ready to begin our discussion. Slava Ukraine. Thank you.
Thank you so much, President Zelenskyy. It was an honor and a privilege to listen to your inspiring speech, especially highlighting our both and joint history between Colombia and Ukraine, and especially highlighting the role of the young people in shaping the future of our countries. And that's why we're going to open the mic to our students and the students from our partner universities right now for this Q&A time. Thank you again for allowing us to have this amazing opportunity. So we are going to start with the students from Universidad de La Sabana. The first question, please.
Good morning, dear President. My name is Valeria Huitrago Prat. I'm currently a student of the degree of Political Sciences at Universidad de La Sabana. It's an honor to be here address you. So now, here is my question. You became President of Ukraine in 2019, initially during a period of relative peace, but faced significant challenges with the escalation in conflict in 2021 and 2022 invasion. How did you navigate this major shift in the leadership role, and what would you tell the young people about responsibilities and challenge in leading in crisis? Thank you.
Дякую, я можу відповідати українською. У вас є переклад?
Thank you. I hope you have interpretation. Can I respond in Ukrainian?
The president is going to address the questions in Ukrainian, but we will have a translation right now by Zoom.
Дуже добре. Валерія,
Very good.
дякую вам за
Valeria, yes, thank you for your question. It seems to me that
справжній
the true values, they are independent of whether you are president or not president. You follow them or not. And here, because of my experience, I can tell you one thing. In times of war, you understand that there are things you do not pay attention to in times of peace. You simply do not pay attention to them. What is freedom? At times of peace, it is impossible to fully understand. And you do not value such things as true friends, as your family, parents, somebody has a brother, somebody has a sister. You have all of this in times of peace, this is not valued highly because you have all this. The company, friends, relatives, parents who are alive, the values, freedom, right to tell what you think, right to choose what you want. And that's why, based from my experience in times of war, you understand that this is the most important, because it is this thing that they want to take from you, and this is what you can lose. And I believe that it is important to protect it not in times of war, but in times of peace. And this, to me, seems the most important. We quite often waste time for some unnecessary things. We hold a grudge for small things. We offend somebody who's next to us and who loves us very much. Sometimes those whom we love very much. But it seems to me that these moments of friendship, of this dialogue, they are precious. And I can only wish to you to appreciate all this in times of peace, when you truly have time for this.
Thank you, President Zelenskyy. Now we're moving to the second question here at our campus.
Hello, Mr. President. My name is David Leon, student of Political Science at the University of La Sabana, La Universidad de La Sabana. It is not only a pleasure, but a privilege having you here sharing with us. Now my question, being president is demanding, but leading a nation during wartime brings unique pressures. For students here today, understanding the human side of leadership is valuable. Can you describe a typical day in your life as President of Ukraine? How do you manage the heavy responsibilities while balancing personal time and family life? Thank you.
Нічого хорошого в досвіді війни немає.
There are no good things in experiencing war. The war is just suffering and pain that are brought by the people, in our case Russia. They do not ask whether you want to undergo these sufferings and pain or no. Just at some point in time, these people come to you, to your home. And every day on the post of the President of Ukraine as the leader of this state is to do everything to decrease the quantity of the moments that bring this pain, to decrease them. This is such crisis management in times of war. And that is why you do it every minute, and it means that all your work is directed for this, your brain, your experience, and your time. And that is why for your family, you do not have time. And I do not have this time. And that is why we suffer from it. But we believe in light, we believe in the end of this war, and it will definitely be so. And then we will find time for my relatives and close ones. Thank you.
Thank you, President Zelenskyy. Now we're giving the floor to our colleagues at Universidad Pontificia Bolivariana in Medellín.
Thank you, Mr. President, for your time.
Good morning, Mr. President. First of all, I'd like to thank you for sharing this space with us. It's truly an honor. My question for you, it's given the 2.5 years of brutal military occupation by Russia, and given the expectation that the Trump administration will significantly reduce its support, what would be the most likely peace truce that you could foresee in the coming months for your country? Thank you.
Дякую, не хочу вам брехати.
Thank you. I don't want to lie to you That is why I can honestly tell you that I will have the understanding of President Trump's position after we discuss all of this in detail during the meeting, a broad meeting, and I am not sure that we can have this until he arrives to the White House, because there and only there, after inauguration, he will have legitimacy to deal with geopolitics.
Thank you, President Zelenskyy. We are now moving to our colleagues at Universidad de los Andes in Bogotá.
Good morning, President. Receive a cordial greeting from Universidad de los Andes. My name is Daniela Jimenez. I am political science student. Our question is, what is the role inside the army and the situation of Colombians who have gone to fight in the conflict?
Ви маєте на увазі, що вони воюють де? Як добровольці?
Do you mean that they are fighting where? As volunteers?
Yes.
Дивіться, є, чесно вам скажу,
Look,
у нас
so
на початок війни було дуже багато.
I'll be frank with you. At the start of the war, we have had a lot of volunteers, various volunteers.
Внутрішнє
And
законодавство.
if their internal national legislation of the states gave the opportunity to help in a corresponding way to help Ukrainians, if their legislation did not prohibit it, they all came. And I'll be frank with you, this is the question not about the army, it's about the question of how to help Ukraine. Somebody came and wanted to become a volunteer in Ukraine. Some people arrived and they did not take weapons in their hands. The medics arrived from various countries. Some people brought humanitarian aid. They were dealing with various things. They were helping, but undoubtedly there were volunteers who stood up, took up the arms. So I'll be honest with you, the representatives of all the states who have helped Ukraine to protect Ukrainian people from Russian invasion, I'm very grateful to all of them.
Thank you, President Zelenskyy. Now we're moving to Universidad de Cartagena. The floor is yours.
Good morning, Mr. President. I am Kenia Ortiz. I'm a history student from the Cartagena University, and it's a pleasure to be here. It's a privilege for all of us to be here. And here is my question. In the years to come, what partnership or alliance do you consider as key to strengthening or become strong Ukraine's national and regional security?
Дякую. Передусім закінчити.
Thank you. First and foremost is to end the war, and this is extremely important, and this is the main strengthening of Ukraine, because it is impossible to restore Ukraine while the war is ongoing. We need to restore a lot of things that were destroyed by Putin and Russia. It is important to understand who will be rebuilding Ukraine, Ukrainian companies, but we need all Ukrainians who are abroad. We would very much want them to come back and to unite Ukrainians, and this is very important. An element of justice is also important. Not only how this war ends, but justice is necessary for all the people who have lost their children, for military and civilians. Justice is needed so that with time, those people who were issuing these bloody operational orders to bomb us on a daily basis, so that all these people, they are accountable for the law, that they are given sentences. The request for justice in Ukraine will be as long as it is needed until the full justice is restored. And that is very important aspect. And to maximally liberalize the economy so that the investments from various countries come to Ukraine. We need certain villages and towns to be built from scratch. This is the aftermath of this Putin's war.
Thank you, President Zelensky. Now we're moving back to Bogotá with Universidad Externada.
Dear Mr. President Zelensky, I am Camilo Duque, a student of Government International Relations of the University de Estado of Colombia. I appreciate your time for staying here all your time. My question is the next. Given the possibility of the negotiation between Russia and Ukraine, what will be your limits in the organization?
First and foremost, any process of ending the war must be just. Simply to negotiate for the sake of negotiations, when there is Putin sitting who does not want to end the war, they will not result in anything. Since 2014, there were negotiations with Putin in this or that format, but the person is not willing to achieve result in these negotiations. He wants to destroy Ukraine. So that is not a stance. To speak just for speaking. It's no time for talking. Ukraine must be strong. For this, we need to unite the world around Ukraine, and we need to have a plan in accordance with which there will be certain diplomatic discussions with Russian side. A plan, and it is very important.
Thank you, President Zelensky. This is going to be the last question, and we're giving the floor to Universidad Santo Tomás. I think Universidad Santo Tomás is muted, so can you open the mic, please? Okay, it's open now.
Can you hear me well?
Yes.
Mr. President Zelensky, in the name of the Santo Tomás University, I would really like to thank you for your time. It is a great honor for us to have you here in this auditorium. And this is my question. How can the involvement of North Korean troops on the front lines strategically impact the Ukraine and affect NATO and the European Union support for the country? Thank you very much.
Excuse me, can you repeat your question, because I couldn't understand.
Yes, of course. This is the question. How can the involvement of North Korean troops on the front lines strategically impact Ukraine and affect NATO and European support for the country?
Okay, зрозуміло тепер.
Yes, now I understand. Yes. So, at the very first things first, North Korean component is now not only transfer of weaponry, it is now the involvement of foreign troops. So this is now not only the war of Russia, but it is also the war of North Koreans against Ukrainian army. So this is an expansion of this war and dragging of a second country into this war. So the drones that were supplied by Iran, that is one story. And unfortunately here Iran was very helpful to Russia, and their weaponry has destroyed a lot of our people, civilian people. The drones that targeted our energy, the people were getting by without light, without water, without heating, because of Iran's weaponry, but that is weaponry. North Korea, now that is the army, and that is a serious story. Two countries are against us, and it would be very much desired that NATO went from words to actions and strengthened Ukraine. And we would very much want to be given the opportunity to use long-range weaponry against military objects in Russian territory. The targets from which missiles fly against us. We know these points from which missiles are being launched, these military aircrafts take off, but we cannot reply. For this, we would need NATO countries to allow us to do it.
Thank you so much, and thank you to all the universities that join us in this streaming. And President Zelenskyy, one final remark. I'm sure this is going to be an unforgettable and a historical moment for La Sabana and all the academic community in Colombia. It has been an honor having you here with us. We wish you the best in these difficult times, and I hope to see you soon in Colombia. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much.
Speak and to address and to speak with students and with you. And so thank you very much. I hope I will see you and meet. So all the best. Good luck. And of course, peace. All the best. Bye-bye.
Can you please remain in the room, because we still have more amazing moments. We invite to the main stage right now our ambassador, Yuri Polikovich, who is going to deliver some comments about this amazing conversation we just had with President Zelenskyy. Ambassador.
Estimados miembros de la comunidad universitaria, profesores y estudiantes, es un gran honor dirigirme a ustedes hoy después de las palabras tan importantes de nuestro presidente Volodymyr Zelenskyy. Ucrania atraviesa un momento crítico, enfrentando una guerra sin precedentes, pero seguimos firmes en nuestra lucha por la libertad, la democracia y los valores europeos y mundiales, principios que nos unen con otros pueblos del mundo. La educación juega un papel fundamental en nuestra resistencia y reconstrucción, ya que el conocimiento y la ciencia son herramientas poderosas que nos permiten avanzar. En este sentido, Ucrania y Colombia tienen una larga tradición en el ámbito académico y creemos que la cooperación entre nuestras universidades no solo ofrece oportunidades para el desarrollo personal de los estudiantes, sino que también fortalece los lazos entre nuestros países. Agradecemos profundamente la colaboración en investigaciones conjuntas, intercambios académicos y programas culturales, los cuales son vitales para el entendimiento mutuo y el progreso de nuestras naciones. Ucrania siempre estará abierta a seguir profundizando la cooperación con Colombia, creando juntos un futuro basado en el respeto, el conocimiento y la paz. Gracias por su atención. Estamos muy agradecidos a la universidad anfitriona, Universidad La Sabana, y personalmente al rector y su equipo, y el resto de las universidades que participaron en nuestra conferencia de hoy. Universidad de los Andes, Universidad de los Andes, Universidad de Externado, Universidad Pontífica Bolivariana, Universidad de Santo Tomás, Universidad de Cartagena. No olvide nadie, ¿no? Perfecto. Muchísimas gracias a todos. ¡Viva Colombia! ¡Viva Ucrania!
We thank Ambassador Políticos, who also has an amazing Spanish, right? He speaks really well. Now we welcome Professor Oleksandr Mereshko, who is a professor but also chairman of the Ukrainian Parliamentary Committee on Foreign Policy and Interparliamentary Cooperation.
Dear friends, it's a huge honor and huge pleasure to speak in front of you. Honestly, you know, I've traveled a little bit around Latin America, and interestingly enough, I feel like at home in your country. And it's very easy to communicate with you. And all my life I devoted to international law, and I've been professor of international law for many, many years. And looking at your university, I can assure you that, you know, from my perspective, it's a huge happiness to be a student at this university, to work at this university. And I'm sure that all of you have a very bright future. And I also believe that our countries have huge potential and we should be friends. Right now, Ukraine is going through to use the Churchill's words, is going through its darkest hour. And in this hour, it's very clear. We can see very clearly who is our friend and who is not. And I'm absolutely sure that Colombian people are our friends. And that's why I'm so grateful for the warmth of your hearts, because your solidarity, the warmth of your hearts gives us strength to continue our fight for our survival. Not only for our survival, but for the future of the world, because the future of the world should be firmly based on international law. And I would like to express my deepest and the most sincere gratitude to your people of Colombia, to your parliament, and to you and to the leadership of your university. Thank you. Muchas gracias.
Thank you, Professor Mereshko, and thank you all for attending this historical event. It has been a great honor to host this at Universidad de La Sabana, and we are so happy to partner with other universities in Colombia. It was a great pleasure to share and to have this opportunity. We thank again to the mission of Ukraine in Peru. It was a great honor to be the host of this historical opportunity. To all the students, thank you so much, and we will see you next Aldea. We don't know who's coming next, right? Thank you so much. Y ya podemos hablar en español, el rector me pide, hay partido de Colombia. So we need Colombia to win the match today.